Of the many different types of lighting calculations you can complete using LightStanza, one of the more exciting ones is lighting power density calculations. This is the watts per square foot or watts per square meter of installed electric lighting, which is a metric that allows you to assess the energy performance of the completed lighting design. In this tutorial, we'll look at the steps necessary to complete this type of calculation on a typical project. So we'll start by loading in an IES file, which contains the required electrical information, the wattage of the fixture for the LPD calculations. So go to the luminaires panel, we'll create a new type, and then upload a new IES file. This can be any IES file. Wattage is a required field, so they should all have the necessary data. And so I'll just use this 4-foot linear as an example, and then create the type. I can just start placing fixtures, but to take a shortcut, I'll actually use the illumination target array option just to get us a simple layout. So we'll go to illumination target and select the luminaire of interest, the linears we just loaded, and then indicate which room to apply the layout to. In this case, we'll be looking at instruction 115. Set the target illuminance level. Let's try 25-foot candles and click apply. Now with the layout complete, this is all the setup that's necessary. It's usually good to review that the watts are correct just in case there are any errors in the photometric file. So going back to the lighting design tab, I can find the linear type, and we can review the IES file information by clicking View Edit. Then the input watts of 19 was automatically loaded from the photometric file. You can make adjustments here if you need to make a correction or using a different lamp type. You can also assign an output multiplier. This will scale both the lumen output and the watts. And so it's just important that these values are accurate to the lighting design to get the best lighting power density calculations possible. But if you're happy with that, you can save if you made any changes, or just click cancel if you're just doing a review. And then you can create a calculation, either the entire model, or you can just do a single space by clicking calculate space. And then we can see the calculation progress over on the activity and reporting panel. And with the calculation complete, we can review the report clicking the option underneath the calculation card. And then reviewing the statistical area summary, we have a lighting power density of 0 in this case. That's due to the decimal precision value. We'll round to the nearest whole number by default. But typically for LPD calculations, you're working with values that are less than 1, and so you can adjust that under the statistics drop-down. There's this precision option. So if we do 2 decimals of precision, that will show the total watts per square foot for the space. So not too bad. This would comply with most relevant codes. Usually anything less than 1 is kind of a good target. But the lower you can get for LPD calculations, the more efficient the lighting solution will be. And one final thing to double check in the report, we already looked at the watts over on the View Edit IES file tool, but these also appear in the luminaire schedule, so just kind of a second validation that the electrical information was correct. And then LPD is calculated just as the sum total of all the fixtures in the space divided by the area, which is calculated automatically just based on the grid boundary. Hope this helped. Thank you very much.